Hello, McNair Theater, and welcome back to another video. Today, I am going to be showing you how to complete your statues and levels assignment. So let's get started. I'm going to be sharing my screen with you like I always do. As you know, every video, every assignment, it looks the same, right? It's just the inside questions that are different. So what you're going to do today is when you open up your assignment on Google Classroom, it's going to be purple and it's going to say levels and statues practice. That's how you know you're on the right one. You're going to answer your top three like we always, that was a 4, 5, 3. You're going to answer your top three like we always do. Your email address, your theater class period, and then of course your last name, comma, your first name. It's really important that you do this question correctly because it helps me to sort out your names when I'm grading. And so if you guys could help me by putting your last name first and then your first name, that would really help me. Once you're done with that, you're going to go ahead and click next. And for your warm-up today, you're going to be looking at the picture and writing a little bit about it. And so you just need to jot down a couple of thoughts. Again, with my, usually with these assignments, it doesn't need to be a whole complete paragraph. If it's, as long as it's just 1 or 2 sentences, you are good to go. So think about, for about 1 minute, 60 seconds, think about everything that you see in this picture. What do you notice about it? This is going back to our observation skills, right? What do we notice about it? What do you see in the picture? And so I think pretty much everybody hopefully knows what this is. If not, it's okay, I'll tell you. This picture is the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty is located in New York City, and in our country, it is a symbol of like freedom and the fact that America welcomes people of all different cultures, races, and nationalities. And so what I am asking you to do in this question is tell me, how would you describe the statue? And so you want to think about things like its color. If you think about a statue, what is it made out of? If you look at the sky, can you imagine how big this statue is? I've actually seen this statue in person. Not everybody, if you've never been to New York, you have not, but it's pretty big, right? Most statues are pretty large, and this one is a very special statue, so it's very big. Think about, what are statues made out of? Rock, stone, concrete, other really hard materials. What do you think this statue is made out of? Give me your thoughts. Just like it says, list everything you can. It's okay if it's just a list and not even a complete sentence. But think about the color, the materials, what is it made out of, all the things in the statue and all the things you see in the picture around the statue, adding to the statue. Give me your thoughts. Just about for 1 minute, just list everything you can think of. If you need to pause this video to do that, go ahead. You know, you're always welcome to work at your own pace, and you can pause it if you need to. Once you're ready, go ahead and click next. Oops. So again, just like most of my assignments are, if you don't answer the question, it's not going to let you continue on to the next screen. So that's what happened to me right now. Of course, you will fill in more than just what I put, but just so we can get to the next screen, that's what I put. And so just like the statue in the picture, the same way that a statue is like solid, made out of materials that don't move, it's going to stay in the same position all the time. Statues don't really change. Whatever pose they're in, that's how they're going to stay. We have that same kind of idea in theater, except in theater, when we make statues, we use our body. And so there are 3 different levels that we can use when we are making statues. We talked about some of these levels last week. If you think back to high and low, when we talked about creating stage pictures on stage, levels are kind of the same idea, is you have high levels, which are standing positions like you see here in the picture, like this one here. Middle levels, which are like sitting positions. So like you see here. And then low levels, which are poses that are kneeling or sitting completely on the ground, and staying very low to the ground, just like its name says. Now with middle, sometimes you have a chair, sometimes you don't. It just kind of varies. And then high poses, almost always you will be standing, maybe even on top of something. But when we make statues, these are our examples of high, middle, and low. And so again, for your question, you're going to ask, what are frozen, or you're going to answer, what are frozen poses using levels called? What did we just say? Statues, right? So that's going to be your correct answer, is statues. Now we're going to practice making some statues together. What I want you to do at home is the first statue you're going to make is going to be a superhero. So you're going to think about, I'm sure almost everybody has seen a superhero movie at one time or another. And so think about how you see superheroes move in their body. They're very strong, very confident, very open. Notice all of our pictures here that I have of different superheroes. They are standing in the strongest stage position, which is what? Full front. You got it. And so you see how they're facing completely towards the audience, which is you. And they're very strong. They're looking, their heads are pointed directly at you. They're not looking down or somewhere away. They're looking straight ahead. And then they have that full, confident, fully tall, high level, confident position. And so what I want you guys to do is you're going to stand up and try and make yourself look just like one of these superheroes here. The easiest pose would be, if you can't think of a pose on your own, you can go ahead and copy mine, which I have a picture of myself here. If you think of your own pose that you want to do, if you want to maybe be a supervillain and be like this, right? It's up to you. I just want to see a high level. So what I want you to do is I want you to get up right now, wherever you are, and you're going to make a pose like a superhero. Like I said, it can be like the ones in the picture, or it can be one of your own imagination. And you're gonna hold that pose for at least 5 seconds, okay? So get ready, think of your pose, copy mine if you can't think of an idea on your own. Ready, and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Great job. So hopefully you did a pose that's kind of similar to mine. And now we're going to move on to our next question, which is, tell me about the statue that you made. If you did a pose like me, you can tell me in the box, I made you a pose like you. If you changed anything, another common one we see for superheroes is like hand on your hip and then arm up, right? Like you're flying through the air. That's another great superhero pose. So if you did something a little bit different than what's in the picture, tell me what you did that was different. Say, I put my arm up. I did a picture like yours, but I put my arm up. Or I did a super villain pose instead of a superhero. Just kind of tell me about what kind of statue that you made and you practiced at home on your own. Feel free to pause if you need some more time to write out your answer. And then once you're ready, we'll go on to the next one. So a middle level pose that I'm going to ask you guys to do is a race car driver. So this is a middle pose, is one that you can easily do sitting in a chair. So I'm going to move back a little bit so you can see me. And so for this one, I'm going to try and do a pose similar to this race car driver right here. And so you'll put your hands out like you have the steering wheel in front of you. I know you can't see my feet right now, but you can see it in my next picture right here. And I'm making a silly face, but yes, you're gonna hold on. You can put your foot, see how I have my foot kind of angled out like I'm pressing on the gas on the car. And then I have my hands out like I'm holding a steering wheel. And don't forget your facial expressions. Just because you're frozen, just because you're a statue, doesn't mean that you can't show us a great facial expression. So maybe your facial expression will be excited like mine. Maybe it's scared. Maybe it's extra happy, right? And so it's up to you. But I want you to do a pose that is like a race car driver. You can copy mine if you'd like, and you're gonna hold it for 5 seconds. So get ready with your pose and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great, let it go. Our last pose, and you're gonna do the same thing before we go on to our last pose. You're gonna describe your statue that you made. If you made one that looks like mine, tell me I did the same pose as you. Or you can tell me what you changed. Did you move your arm? Did you do a different facial expression? Did you make it scared instead of excited or happy? How did you do your pose? Tell me a little bit more about it. Your last pose that you're going to be doing today is going to be a low level pose. And it's going to be, the character we're going to play today is a gardener. And so if you look at the pictures, you see gardeners because they're planting into the ground. They're sitting or kneeling very close to the ground. We have this lady who's kneeling completely down. This looks like a little child. She is kneeling on one knee only, and she has her hands very close to the ground because she's planting. And so think about what your arms and legs are doing. If you have your own idea, you can, of course, just like your other two poses, make your own idea. But I did put a picture here for you in case you need a pose to copy. And so you can start out with my pose. I am on my knees, close to the ground. I have one knee up. And then I am pretending that I'm putting a plant into the ground. And so you can do different things with your hands. You can also do like a watering can. You can pretend you're smelling the flowers, right? Just pretend you're a gardener. It's whatever character you want to show that is your version of a gardener. And so you're gonna do the same thing just like we've been doing before. You're gonna choose your pose and hold it for 5 seconds. So pause the video if you need some time to think, and then we will start. Hold your pose. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Let it go. And now, last time, you are going to tell me about the statue that you made. What did you do? Did you do one like mine? Did you change it up a little bit? Just tell me, describe your statue. Tell me a little bit about what you did. Once you're done, if you are watching this video, that probably means that you didn't get to do our live session. So this game is going to happen in our live session. So I want to tell you guys, we do play games. We do some extra fun activities during our live sessions. So if you want to be a part of that, I really encourage you to tune in to our live sessions. If you're not sure when you should tune in, go ahead and email me or comment on Google Classroom, and I will help you figure out what time you're supposed to log in. But if you didn't log in for whatever reason, that's okay. You're going to skip the game part. And you can still answer your last 2 questions of this assignment. The first one is, what is the most challenging part of making statues? And so you can answer that because you did some of the ones that we did earlier in the lesson. So you can tell me, what do you think was the hardest for you? Was it coming up with an idea? Was it keeping your body still and not moving? Was it staying quiet the whole time? Or was it maybe something else that is not listed here? Choose the answer that best fits you and what your experience was like. And then for your exit ticket, if you did play the game during our live session, you will understand what that question is asking. If you are watching this video at a later time or at a different time, you can just tell me that you did not get to play, and that's okay. Like I said, the most important part is that you understand that a statue is a frozen pose and that you understand how to make different poses at high levels, middle levels, and low levels. So if you didn't get to play the game, go ahead and just answer that you did not get to play. And then you will hit submit and you will get credit for your assignment today. That's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed making different statues and levels and doing this first assignment where you got to think about creating a character on stage. That's the whole idea here, right? We want to tell stories, we want to express characters, and you did that today. So round of applause for you. Great job. If you have any questions about anything, please feel free to email me on Google Classroom or leave me a comment or message me on Remind, or even unmute yourself during our lives. I'm always happy to answer questions in any of those different ways. That's it for today, guys. Have a great day. Remember, today is a good day. You are in control of you, and every day is a great day to try your best. I will see you in our next video. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.